Yeah, boy.
Yes, I am so excited for this episode. Today I have Daniel Bash, the creator, the founder of Relax, the t-shirt he currently has on right now, and the clothing behind us as well. And I want to get into like what you do and to the extent of what you do and how long you've been doing it for. It's been a long time. But first, I always have to mention how we met. And I know that your brand was here in Dustin and Denise's studio, and I've seen it before. I've seen you on Instagram before, but Dustin had let me know, like, he's like, Daniel, super cool guy, wants to do an interview with you, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. We planned. I remember like I hit you up, you hit me right back up. We had plans, and it was like really easy for us to like connect, and we talked about your clothing line, and I think we like also would like let's do a photo shoot together and all types of stuff, and now we're here. So I'm super happy to have you, and I'm super excited to get into it. But I guess like a way to get into it is like, how would you, what is your role in Relax?
All right. Well, first, thanks for having me. And
course.
my role, I mean, everything.
Yep.
What can I say? I started this thing 2013. It's now 2023.
Dude, 10 years,
Um,
man.
yeah, pretty cool. We're still around, still alive and kicking.
You probably do
Um,
so much stuff that you don't even know where to begin.
yeah, no, for sure. Think about what like goes into running, not only a brand but a business,
Yeah.
and it's so many different levels to it. It's a lot, and I can't pretend that I'm doing it all by myself.
Yep.
In this business, I mean, you're relying on so many different people,
Yep.
even if they're not your direct like employees or whatever. You think about it. You have an idea in your head, and you have to bring that to life into a physical form, and
Yeah.
that takes a lot of hands. And for a long time, for the first about 7 years, I was on my own. The last 3 years, I have an amazing partner. He's been great. He's been really helpful. But with that said, we still got a team to build, and we still have a lot of work to do.
Totally. So, 10 years ago, what happened for you to start your own clothing line? Did that come out of nowhere?
Nah, certainly not. I've always been into clothes. Lifelong artist. I draw, I
Okay.
paint, and whatever. Just all sorts of things. But to be real, the story goes. When I was younger, there was things about myself that I couldn't necessarily change. That I was self-conscious about. But I can always change my clothes and have fun with my outfits and feel good about myself that way.
Wow.
And that's what I would do. I was always the kid wearing the loudest, craziest, funniest stuff, like that attention. And but it got to a point where I wanted to make things fit, feel, and look the way I wanted them to.
Yeah.
And I have ideas, and I wanted to put my fingerprints on the industry, and my brother is also a really talented fashion designer. So he kind of
Okay.
showed me that, like, even though it's a completely different field, he showed me that it's possible for just some guy to create and do this stuff.
Wow.
So that's what made me know, like, that it was possible. And at 21 years old, with no knowledge, no experience, no money, no nothing. I was just like, I'm gonna do this, like, and of course it's gonna work because it's me. I'm me. Of course I'm gonna make this work. Not that easy though. Just
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way.
That's so cool. I wanted to ask, like, was your brother like the first one that did anything creative, or like, do you have a family of creative people in clothes necessarily?
No,
Like, how did that come about?
yeah, my brother is definitely the only one in the family. He actually taught me how to draw when I was like in first grade.
Oh,
He like
wow.
taught me, and it worked, and I picked it up and got really good at it. I guess a lot of credit to him. But yeah, he's like I said, who showed me that it was possible for just some guy. You think like, oh, you need like this big team, all this resources and stuff. No, I mean really, you can anyone could just start.
Yeah.
It really doesn't take much to start. It's continuing that is the
Totally.
hard part.
That's a question of mine. You said it's not that easy when you start and you had no money, no knowledge. What kind of kept you going through it? You've done it for 10 years. Like, there had to have been a lot of times where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not working for me. So, like, what kept you going?
I mean,
was there like an early success, or was it like super hard to even start?
Well, like I said, starting is like the easiest part. You know, you have your idea and your name and your initial thoughts, and then you start. But like I said, keeping it going is the hard part. Now, yeah, look, there's been a ton of successes. There's been even more failures, and I've wanted to quit, you know, many times because even though you know you have this fire burning inside you, you know, like for me, like I know I was put here to create. You know, that's what I do. It's who I am. It's it's not just words. It's who I actually am. Anyone that knows me, knows, it's what I do. So to keep it going, it's extremely daunting because there's a lot of thoughts that are coming in here, but one thing I want to say is like it's a real shame that a lot of great ideas aren't brought to life because of complications and financial limitations and stuff like that. When I first started this company, it was all about essentials, basic clothing, but like putting my specific touches on it and really making like sweatsuits and basketball shorts and tracksuits and things of that nature. I actually I went into cut and sew and
they've been telling me that.
And learned that it was just a nightmare, and it's too bad because I was able to make some really cool things, but if I were to really go into all that, that would be a whole other podcast. I mean, a whole other segment because the challenges you face there are way greater than screen printing T-shirts and embroidering hats and etc. When I started, I didn't want to be known as a T-shirt company. I had these big ideas, but I had no idea how hard it was going to be to bring these ideas to life. So I went down that road for a few years and really, fell on my face because. And it's not because the ideas weren't good. It's not because the clothing wasn't good. It's so much more than that. You're depending on so many different people to make this thing happen, and the financial cost of cut and sew versus printing or something else. It's just so much crazier. So for one guy starting out with nothing, I mean, woo, it's it's a learning curve for sure. But throughout the years, it's really evolved into this new thing, and that's what's exciting about it. Because as you go, and you're getting discouraged, and you're not sure, where you want to go, you don't know how to get there. But as long you'll never get there if you stop.
Yep.
And that's kind of my motivation, and the more you go, and the more it evolves.
Yep.
So that's kind of how we've got to today. It didn't start out with this, it was not this at all. I had like this airplane logo.
No, I wanted to ask, like, was it like just T-shirts in the beginning? Did you screen print them?
No, it was all cut and sew. I saw out the gates because I saw my brother who was this fashion designer.
Oh, and he does that.
Well, he had manufacturers and etc. But then I learned like his people weren't necessarily my people.
Yeah.
And then so I had to find my own people. It's such a challenge. Like I said, for a young kid with no experience and no knowledge and all that. But how do you get knowledge? I mean, you keep going and growing and learning and falling on your face and you better learn
Yeah.
through all that because you know, if you're not learning, then what are you doing? You know.
Yeah, totally. And I know you've been skating for a long time, or you skated when you were young.
I still skate.
Period. No, but like you started when you were super young.
Yeah, it's
still
about to
do?
be 20 years of skating.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I specifically wanted to add or ask, did that kind of influence your clothes at all? Your business?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, skateboarding influenced like my entire life. Skaters definitely see the world differently.
Okay.
For sure, you might just see like a bench at a park, and we see how can we skate that, and what can
make that.
and what trick can I do before that, and on it, and after, you know. So we're looking at the whole world a little bit differently, especially being an artist as well. I mean, I got a lot of thoughts on this, but
Yeah, go out.
so look, skaters influence fashion. I mean, tremendously.
100%,
I mean,
they
if
do.
you know, for sure. But when it comes to, like, what does a skater really look like? You know, if you look around, I mean, so much variety nowadays, and what's acceptable and what's not. For me, I be yourself, do your thing.
Yeah.
I don't dress like a traditional skater. I don't care. I still get on the board and
Yeah.
do my thing. So as long as you're having fun and contributing to the skate culture community, being a good influence within that, and like, who cares how you dress?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I wanted to know, you used to do skate videos. Did you ever like put them together in a sense? Like, I'm gonna like push my brand to be skating, because I think we also talked and you had said that you're not a skating brand necessarily.
Yeah, no.
So like, how did you know what I mean? Was that like did you put a boundary there? Like, I don't want it to be a skating thing, or
Initially, not initially, but throughout the years, I wanted to transition that way. But as you try things, you market test and all that kind of stuff, kind of realize that's not specifically the audience for this.
yeah.
And that's okay. I almost, at a period of time, through the evolution, I almost went skate specific and made it relaxed skateboards.
Okay.
But then you learned how much of a nightmare the skateboarding industry is. And I didn't want to go down that route.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. I'm not trying to be negative, or I'm a skater. Why would I want to put down that industry? I don't. But that is just the truth of it. If you look into it, it's really a hard industry to be successful in, no matter who you are.
That's fun. I'm gonna actually like show the skateboard that you
Cool.
made. So do you still make these then?
No, this was a limited run.
Okay, cool.
Maybe got like
this made
4
it
left.
so much cooler.
It is pretty cool. It's really special, it's just to bring these ideas to life, and to have a skateboard. I mean, like, every skater's dream is to have their own pro skateboard with their name on it. But if you can't have that, this is kind of the next best thing, in my opinion. So
it's cool that you at least like tried it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was received really well.
Yeah, totally. You're not even from Vegas. Right?
Yeah, right. I'm from Los Angeles.
From Los Angeles, and like your clothing brand kind of like shows a beach and that kind of vibe. Like, is that where that inspiration comes from?
Oh, it's very Cali themed, right?
Okay.
But the whole
Right now.
the whole ideology is like every day's a vacation, right?
Yeah.
Even if you live in the desert, so like that's the whole theme I'm trying to play on. So it doesn't really matter, you don't have to be from California or this place or that place. It's people can enjoy this everywhere.
That's like kind of the inspiration, and I loved the collaboration that you did with Recycle Propaganda, because they had their own twist to it. But I would love to know that story and how that came about.
Yeah, no, this was a great one. I mean, I've respected Recycle Propaganda's work for so long, living out here in Vegas. They were everywhere, and didn't have a personal relationship with them or anything. So it was a long shot. I get a lot of no's when I'm trying to like collab or work with people, but for them to say yes
Did you like
was
go in there?
yeah, oh yeah.
And you're like, can I have?
No, I was just like introducing myself,
Yep.
showing the brand, showing telling my ideas, and he was like, yeah, cool. But it took about a year from that conversation until the actual collab came to life and the art exhibition that we did. So yeah, I was obviously pumped and just such great guys to work with over there. They made it so easy. It was easily one of the best experiences I've had in all of my years. We just had a lot of fun with it. Total team effort. Everyone really did their part. Bringing that whole thing to life. It was a really special experience to have the 2-month installation over there, and gave me a place to hang out and kind of work on my stuff and to meet the people that came in and get to tell them about the brand and expose it to them and create some some support that way. It was fantastic. I mean, we really crushed it.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, like Recycle Propaganda is a super cool uh, what I call it, like an art store, like they
yeah, store slash gallery.
Yeah, gallery, and they have like a room in the back, and that room is always like different vibes depending on who they're collaborating with. And unfortunately, I was not able to go to yours. We had just talked after that, but how was that to like set it up? Because you had like this what's the word? Like the actual collab was like toxic, right?
Yeah, like a toxic
Waste,
beach. Yeah.
Toxic beach, which is so
Yeah.
crazy. Like, how did you set it up? Like, did you guys do everything together in terms of like how we're gonna set this up?
Well, total collaborative effort, right?
Okay.
But he, the artist, Isaac from Recycled, he already had something similar to this with the palm trees, with the 5G cell phone towers on it, and the kind of toxic water. And so, when I came to him with my idea, really trying to bring both of our brands together,
Yep.
that's what I pitched him on, and then we kind of went back and forth to what eventually ended up, being this. And then from there, it's like, all right, how are we going to dress up this room?
Yeah.
Painted the ceilings, the floors, the walls. Isaac did the mural because he's just like that.
He's just built different.
He's yeah. We had that one side. Me and my partner dressed up the other side. Brought all the retail stuff together, and had the palm trees with the hammock installation there in the back, which was pretty cool.
So cool.
And yeah, no, it was just, like I said, received really well, and just an amazing experience.
Yeah, that's super awesome. One thing that I've noticed when you and I went there, because I think we had met up there first, and we just just chilled out there.
But it had already been changed by that point
it
to
was
the
a
next
different
artist. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But you had shown me some socks.
Ah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
For a pivot.
Yeah.
And I would love to hear about that too, that collaboration.
Yeah.
And I don't know how like that collaboration got into the Recycle Propaganda.
Yeah.
Place, so.
Now this is an exciting story.
Yes.
Pivot socks. I mean, best in the game. We'll get to that. But yeah. So I was introduced to one of the Pivot owners a couple of years ago through a mutual friend, and I was telling him, like, we gotta do a collab. I was trying to make a sock for the company, but not only just any sock. I mean, this was the best sock I had ever seen. I have a long history of retail. I've seen it all. And I have drawers of socks. I have a collection, Stance and Huff, and just all these other brands mixed in. And when I saw the Pivot sock, I was seriously, I could not believe it. I was like, you got the small company, and you guys produce the best sock I've ever seen. It's just the most premium product that I've seen. I was, bugging them for a collab, and eventually I said yes. We did the first Relax sock, big hit. One of their best socks in the rotation for sure. And since that went so well, I was like, guys, like let me get in on this. Like I saw the potential so early. I'm like, this company's gonna be something. it was a no-brainer, and I was bugging them. I was like, I got ideas. I can help. I have experience, and yeah, pretty shortly after they were like, all right, we can use some help. Like, come on in, and now it's been over 2 years, and I'm working exclusively with them, doing a ton of designs, doing sales, just crushing it. We did a second collab for Relax. We're working on a third. And they done a couple collabs with Recycled Propaganda. So we all work together. When we all respect each other and want to grow together, and we all take this very seriously. Yeah, but Pivot Socks. I mean, like I said, this is just the best sock in the game. We've done a ton of trade shows. We've seen it all, and you cannot find me a better sock. You find me one, I want to see it. I haven't seen it. I could break down all the product knowledge, but basically it's just like the most fluffiest premium comb cotton that you can get.
Yeah.
We have these breathable distributed mesh air vents. Very breathable, moisture wickening, antimicrobial. I mean, this is what you want to be wearing. No matter what you're doing, whether you're just like at work or playing sports or just chilling. I mean, this is what you want on your feet, and it's got it all. Not only that, everything is knitted. So this is just like the highest. This is the highest quality of detail that you can get. We don't want the sublimation polyester. You don't want polyester on your feet. You just don't. And that's a whole other. That'll take a whole other segment. But just take my word on that.
Yep, we will.
So yeah, but it's really challenging. I overnight became a sock designer, and designing socks is way different.
Oh, that was like your first time doing socks?
Oh yeah.
Pivot?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Because there's other sock manufacturers out there, but I wasn't willing to just make anything. I have extremely high standards. I didn't just get into this to make whatever. I want to, I'm trying to make the most premium, high quality, best looking, best fitting stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to be selective. But when this came about, it was a no-brainer that we need to do a sock together, and I'm glad they saw the vision.
I wanted to know too, because you had mentioned to me that you had gone out of town for a trade show, and I want to know what are those like? Have you only gone for Pivot?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what does that look like? Because the last one was where?
In Dallas.
Dallas? Okay. So what did that one look like?
Are
you
crazy.
selling? Are you
What
does it look like?
Oh yeah, that's what we're there to do. We're there to slang it, and we what really sells it. Obviously what it looks like is we have our booth space, and we do our setup with our display and all of our products, and the mannequins, so like an on foot look of the sock, and all that. Then we have all of our catalogs and whatnot. But even with this amazing premium product, we still gotta chase people down. We still have to really make the sale. We have to show them our value. Because typical people don't understand. They're just like, yeah, socks, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to sell to these big retailers, and you're trying to show them why you're different and why you're better than all the ones they already have, and etc. It's really our product knowledge and our passion that sells it, along with our amazing designs and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we go there, and we really have to work hard. We really have to sell ourselves, and not only that, even though you have this amazing product, it still takes a lot of convincing, a lot of following up. It's very hard, but we know we have something amazing there. So we just keep shooting. Just keep shooting, and they're gonna go in. The more you shoot, the more shots will go in. So that's the mindset. I'm all about the ABCs. Always be collabing.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm always trying to work with other dope artists, brands, whatever is relevant. However we can bring both of our things together that makes sense. I'm always looking. I've done a lot of cool ones
I have to
in my time.
Complete the Look Studios. Like, how did that one happen? Like, how'd you get your clothes in here?
Oh,
How long
because
ago was that too?
we're looking at like a couple of years now.
Wow.
But I was introduced by my manufacturer.
Hmm.
'Cause he's the cousin of Denise.
Oh, okay.
And when I was picking up some stuff one time, he was like, "Hey, I'm going over there. You want to come with me?" And I was like, "Sure."
Yeah.
You know, because I'm always willing. I'm always trying to meet people and work with people in this field. And I was like, yeah. So I came here and we hit it off, and it was a no-brainer. Like let's work.
At the time, were they just starting? Like, did they have?
I
Any
think
other
it was a
brands
1-year
here?
anniversary.
Okay. Okay.
And that's
it's
what we
been-
came to. That's why I said I'm coming. I'm coming there for that.
Yeah.
And
So how many stores do you have Relax in?
right now, only 2.
Okay. Where's the other?
Recycle propaganda.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but that's kind of where I'm at in this, because I've been in plenty others over the years.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Even when you do really well in some of these stores, don't get a reorder. Yeah. Pretty interesting. But so it's really hard. Even
Yeah.
when you're doing well, you won't always get that love back. But that's where I'm at right now. That's my whole next focus, is figuring out how to get into the bigger retailers that I'm looking for. Zumi's number 1 on my list. I
Yeah.
used to work for them.
We gotta get you on Zoomies, man. That'd be
It's gonna
so
happen.
awesome. It will.
Because it's funny, because through the years you think, oh yeah, I'm so ready for the big time,
Yeah.
ready for Zoomies, and then you find out, oh no, I'm not ready. Then a little bit time goes by, like, oh, I'm so ready now, and then you learn, oh god, yeah, no, not at all. And then a little more time goes, oh, definitely ready this time.
Yeah.
And then so it's so much more than you think that goes into it. You have to have,
Sure.
you have to be so prepared on so many different levels. But now, throughout all my experience, I kind of know a little bit more of what I'm doing.
Of course.
And how to get there. But it's still a big challenge. Even though you see the end goal, you really don't still have a map.
Yeah.
But I do have more of an idea now of how I can get there, and that's kind of what keeps me going. Even though it's still a big risk. Nothing is guaranteed to work. Although I know that people like what I'm doing here, and they appreciate it, and they show me that through all the different ways you can support. And that's amazing, but it doesn't guarantee you anything.
Yeah, definitely. And you're about to have some type of celebration for 10 years
Yeah.
in the game. Is it 10 years like that you started this business, or 10 years like what was exactly the milestone?
Yeah, 10 years of the brand,
Wow.
literally. So I definitely want to have a party for that. We're
Yep.
organizing that right now. I'm trying to finish up this 10-year anniversary graphic, so we can have some merch,
Yeah.
to commemorate. But yeah, it's in 10 years, have you accomplished everything you wanted to? Like, certainly not. But it is a big deal to me that the brand is still alive after this
That's
long,
huge.
and for me to just keep climbing this climb after all these years is a success in its own. Still a long way to go, but we're going.
Yeah. I guess like after these 10 years, is there has to be like everything has to be different from when you started.
Yeah,
You know? But what is like, I don't know, do you have like a certain like philosophy when it comes to it now? Like, do you still feel like you know better, or you still want to like explore things that you have no idea about? Like, what does it look like in 10 years?
Well, still very much so learning,
Yeah.
Obviously I know a lot more than I did when I started. But I feel good about the next 10 years as well with all this knowledge I have now. That's also what keeps me going, is knowing that you've learned so much. Like, you can't let all this knowledge go to waste. You have to use it to your advantage. When you're first starting out and you don't really know anything, a lot of people try to take advantage of you. They'll try to rook you, you don't necessarily know the cost of things and how these things work in these factories and stuff, and they will certainly try to take advantage of you if they can. So obviously the approach is different for me, bringing any of these ideas to life because, I know how to talk to these people now, and I know how to communicate that, and they know that pretty quickly. They're like, all right, we're not gonna we're not gonna rook this guy.
Yeah. That move from LA to Vegas? I don't know. I think you were young. You told me.
Yeah, I was pretty young.
How old were you?
10.
10. And you're still here. So I'm wondering, like, how was it, having this brand kind of like grow in Las Vegas? I know Vegas is very like unique in certain ways, and I don't exactly know what clothing lines, like 10 years. You've probably seen everything, but what was that like?
Well, yeah, I've seen a lot of brands that started and have stopped, from the time I started, and are no longer around. But yeah, it was, people in Vegas are from everywhere.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people definitely, connected with the brand, even though it was different than what it is now. They still were connecting with what I was doing. I learned, things don't need to be specific to the city that you live in. Yeah. This brand is bigger than any city. So it really doesn't matter where I live. It's just about, my idea and the message that I'm trying to spread through this. So, some people view it in a negative way because they're all about Vegas, all about the city, I take a lot of pride in where I'm from, in Los Angeles. I mean, and I'm always back there. It just feels like home to me, even though, Vegas is home too.
Yeah.
I have a good life out here, and it's much easier to live here these days. Yeah. I'll tell you that much.
I'm sure.
But this is more who I am, and this is a thing that that nobody has, nobody's doing, right? So this is my thing. I'm Mr. Relax, and it's up to me to spread this this message and this story and this brand. So to me, like I said, it's much bigger than any city. So it doesn't matter,
totally.
In my opinion.
Yeah. I also want to know if there are probably like people that are like in their 20s or younger who want to get into clothing and get into a clothing line. With your experience, like, is there any advice that you'd like to give?
Yeah, so much. I'm always willing to, give advice to anyone who needs it. I've done my fair share because, like, when I started, I needed it, and I was thankful to the people that were willing to help. But the advice, I mean, so much. I mean, really, you gotta be patient because this it's gonna take a while, no matter who you are. Now, certainly, there could be some luck involved. You can strike online overnight, but that's very rare. It's not likely. But so, yeah, you really have to have something special and unique, and you have to have something that people care about. I always say it's all about care. If nobody cares, then who cares, right? Mm-hmm. That's my quote.
That was amazing.
And also, the number one thing is people need to know you exist. Because you can make the coolest thing or whatever, but if nobody knows about it, then how are you going to sell it? Because at the end of the day, this is about selling products. We don't just make this stuff to have it sit in our closets and whatever. This is a business.
Yeah.
And you have to know some business. I didn't know any business when I started. I had no clue until my partner came along and put me on game.
Yeah.
You really need to be business oriented. Otherwise, you're just going to go in circles for a while, repeating the same stuff, and it doesn't really grow.
Yeah.
So bringing your idea to life, taking it from your head to the computer to, physical item, that's one thing, and that's an accomplishment of its own. But after that, how are you going to sell it? How are you going to get people to care about it and like it and know about it? Those are the challenges. Those are the things that you need to learn Because without that stuff, you just have a closet full of inventories collecting dust.
Yeah. And I also want to ask about like you even do your own. You do everything, I know, but you even do your own photo shoots.
Oh yeah.
Like for promoting your brand, and did that come early?
Yeah, it might be a controversial thing to say, but photographers are really hard to work with. So I invested in my own camera and learned a thing or two so I could just do it myself.
Yeah.
You know how much money I've saved by buying a camera rather than paying for every shoot. Those are also the things, when you're a growing brand and business, you have to invest in these things, and you have to wear a lot of hats because you really want to put the power in your own hands. You don't want to have to rely on, is this person gonna show up? Is this person gonna get me the photos on time?
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about that. I got them. I do it. Yeah, I might not be the world's greatest photographer. I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to create high quality images with my vision of how I want my website to look and social medias and etc.
So you do. Okay, if you can like list, you probably have so many, but all the hats that you wear. So I know you do graphic design and it goes on and on.
So yeah, you gotta like think of your ideas, then you gotta design them, and then from there, you need to communicate with your manufacturers, to whether it's cut, sew, print, embroider, whatever. That's a whole job of its own. And then you gotta get your website on point, and I do all that. Your social media, your photo shoots.
And you manage your social media.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a whole job of its own.
That's a whole job of its own.
And I'm, not
over it.
Yeah, I mean, I would love for someone to join the team and want to take on that role.
Yeah, that'd be great for you.
That'd be great. It's because it's such a focus. I'm pretty good at creating the content, but then when it comes to posting and captioning and reposting and this and that, I mean, I got so many other things I need to be doing. But that's important too because that's part of your marketing. That's part of getting people to know you exist. That's only one part of it, though. If your only focus is on social media, then it's not enough. Yeah. There's a whole world outside of the social media, which we learn through the trade shows and conventions, etc. So, what you also learn is like likes don't equate to sales. Yeah. So just because one account is popping with all these likes doesn't mean they're selling anything. I probably, with my like small audience, I've probably done a lot more than a lot of these bigger followers and likes some of these accounts.
Yeah. When you first started, was it social media where you were promoting it, or were you like hitting it to like your friends and family first?
Yeah, it was a little both.
Okay. Were you like only online maybe store or?
Yeah, okay. For sure. And what's funny is Snapchat. When I was using Snapchat, that gave me like a big boost.
Wow.
It was weird. Yeah, it was a different time too in social media. Way different time. Yeah. Because now you got to pay to play. Yeah. They even your followers might not even see your stuff. Yeah. They'd rather show you a post from 2 months ago that you already liked than something your friend just posted today.
Wow. Just Snapchat. Yeah,
so anyway, Snapchat back then, we're talking 2014, 15, whatever. When I started posting on Snapchat, that was giving me a big boost. Then Instagram went into the Instagram stories, and that was big for me. So things were going well there. For sure, then I stopped with Snapchat because the whole audience was there on Instagram. Yeah. And then that was really useful for a while. But social media today is not what it was back then. They're not letting you get this free advertising anymore.
Yeah, it's a whole different game now.
Game over.
Look, we are nearing the end. I love hearing about like big plans that are coming up, anything in the future. Is there anything you're looking forward to? If there's someone you want to collaborate with?
I mean, there's so many collabs I would love to do. But the plans, are to just keep this thing going, keep it growing, keep creating, keep innovating. We're obviously going to celebrate the 10 years here soon. Yeah. It's certainly worth celebrating. And yeah, the focus is to get this thing into, stores all across this country because, pretty soon here people are going to know we exist.
Yeah.
And that's the plan, yeah, that's the whole focus, really now finding your supplier so you can, dial down, your costs and your margins and all the specifics so you can get ready for these retailers. And that's my focus. I started this brand when I worked at Zoomies. So to get it in there would be full circle, and that's my plan. But we want much more than just Zoomies. This brand, fits in so many different places, so many demographics, so many people can relate to it and appreciate it, and we know that. We just have to do the work of getting it there. And then obviously on the Pivot side, we have so many great things coming there too, because that's my brand as well.
Yeah.
This is the one I started, but Pivot is also something I take great pride in and super excited about and very passionate about.
Yes. Well, good luck, always.
Thank you.
And I always want to share kind words because I don't know you so well in a sense. I've only hung out a few times,
Yeah.
but since we first met, you've always shown how passionate you are about what you do, and I always appreciate that.
Right on.
I love seeing someone so consistent in something creative because we all know that. I was telling you before our interview, I'm like, do you ever get, overwhelmed by all the stuff that you do? Because I got overwhelmed this morning,
Yeah.
and you were like, oh yeah, every day. Yeah. That doesn't go away.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It only
okay.
gets harder.
That made me feel better though, because
I'm glad.
in a sense, because I'm like, okay, this is a normal thing. This is a hard thing to do, but you've done it for 10 years, so congratulations.
Yeah,
that
thank
is
you.
a huge feat, and I think sometimes we don't see how big it is, but that is huge. A decade is everything, and I'm wishing you a decade more.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for also collaborating with me with this interview, photo shoot. You got me socks, a shirt, so I appreciate you
I appreciate you.
for being on the show, and yeah, that's the end. That's Daniel Bash.
Let's go.
With Relax. Thank you so much.